They came in peace, or so they said, towering diplomats with silver tongues and gentle promises. They shook hands, signed treaties, exchanged gifts. Then, without warning, without mercy, they took the children. Cities awoke to silence. Schools emptied. Cradles hollowed. No ransom. No message. Just absence. And for the first time in 3,000 years, Earth remembered what it meant to be human. It meant war. For 3 millennia, the United Human Coalition had honored the galactic concord. After the last war, when Sol burned and Luna cracked, Earth had sworn peace. Not out of weakness, but out of the understanding that even humanity's rage had limits. They joined the Council of 12, signed the treaties, dismantled the orbital fleets, and became diplomats, traders, explorers. The galaxy relaxed, thinking the old humans, the ones from the time of fire and iron, were gone. They weren't gone. They were asleep. And something woke them up. It started on a Thursday. Across 6 continents, just before dawn, every child between the ages of 2 and 10 vanished. No alarms. No explosions. Just gone, erased from beds, buses, homes, and hospitals. At first, it was blamed on a system glitch, then a biological anomaly, then a terrorist attack. But none of those fit, because there were no traces, no signs of struggle, and no demands. Then came the whisper: the Za'reth had taken them. The Za'reth Empire had ruled a quadrant of the galaxy for over 10,000 years. Biologically advanced, culturally arrogant. They believed their species' future was stagnating, so they turned to what they called soul seeding, extracting life essence from young sentients to fuel their long-dead evolution. They'd done it before, quietly, to lesser species. No one stopped them. But this time, they chose Earth. They chose wrong. Because Earth had forgotten war, yes, but it had not forgotten vengeance. The United Human Coalition called an emergency vote. It passed with a unanimous signal, red. Earth declared open war, and the galaxy went still. The forged worlds of Mars lit up again. The Dyson swarm around Jupiter rotated into weapon configuration. Titan reactivated its black site. Beneath Antarctica, the last AI war commander, known only as Kinsey, was reawakened from digital slumber. She emerged angry. The protocols that once outlawed kinetic orbital strikes, antimatter warheads, and dark drive vessels were erased in a single directive: bring them back. Eris Station opened the Vault of Silence, releasing Project Dreadhammer. Venus, still poisoned and burning, became the new command center. The humans, long underestimated, stopped sending messages. They sent fleets. The Galactic Concord begged for restraint. They said the Za'reth were protected under Treaty 49. The humans replied with a single sentence: then change the treaty, or join them. No more diplomacy. No more warnings. The first fleet dropped into Za'reth space at faster-than-light velocities, bypassing detection, and destroyed the planetary system of Quirrell 9 without firing a shot, ripping its sun apart using a Star-Lance array humanity had never admitted to building. The Za'reth screamed. The humans didn't answer. They burned another star, and another, until entire sectors went dark, cold, silent. Deep within the Andar Nebula, inside a shielded biolaboratory orbiting a black dwarf, the missing children were found. They weren't harmed. Yet, the Za'reth had placed them in soul harvest chambers, surrounded by machines designed to drain identity, convert thought into energy. But humanity got there first. The rescue unit, codenamed Gravediggers, entered without being seen. They moved like shadows. 3 soldiers, 1 AI, and a war priest named Tomas Ray. The Za'reth guards didn't stand a chance. The children were unconscious, but alive. Each was tagged, protected, and removed. The last one out was a girl named Lila Carter, age 6. She woke in Tomas's arms and whispered, "Are you an angel?" He said, "No, I'm a human." The children were returned. Every one of them. When the images surfaced, thousands of children running into their parents' arms, laughing, crying. The galaxy sighed in relief. But Elias Rourke, Supreme Commander of Earth's Reclamation Fleet, was not done. He broadcast one final message to the Za'reth High Council. You stole from us. You didn't ask. You didn't warn. You didn't treat us as equals. You thought humanity was tame. You thought the old stories were exaggeration. He leaned forward, eyes dark as interstellar void. You were wrong. And then, without raising his voice, he said, We're going to erase your empire. The Za'reth begged. They offered technology, territory, eternal tribute. But Earth did not bargain with those who threatened its young. Over the next 60 hours, humanity unleashed war unlike any the galaxy had seen. Black hole lances tore moons apart. Time fracture torpedoes erased Za'reth leaders before they were born. Mind dive hackers melted entire fleets with synthetic nightmares. The Za'reth homeworld, Jurix Prime, was not destroyed. It was rewound. Its surface turned back into molten stone, its cities unbuilt in reverse. And in orbit, Earth planted a beacon. This is what happens when you touch our children. The Concord restructured itself entirely. Za'reth space was divided among the species they had once enslaved. Reparations were enforced. War crimes documented. The name, Earth, became something said with reverence and fear. Children across the galaxy were told bedtime stories of the day the humans awoke, of how they once slumbered like wolves among sheep, and of the fire that returned when their young were stolen. On Earth, Lila Carter held a tiny star-shaped medal in her hands. It wasn't for her. It was for her saviors. For Tomas. For the AI Kenzie. For the men and women who crossed galaxies to bring them home. She looked up at the stars and asked her mother, "Will the bad ones come back?" Her mother, eyes full of steel and love, said, "No, not anymore." Why? Because now they remember who we are. In the end, it wasn't fury, technology, or strategy that won the war. It was the love of parents, and the mistake of thinking humanity had gone soft.